Congratulations, you've just been born an octopus. Not one of the majestic ones on National Geographic with orchestral music behind them. No, you're the wet sneeze version that hatched from a grape-sized egg glued to a rock in the middle of the ocean. You never met your parents. Mom literally starved herself to death babysitting you, then died right after you hatched. That's right, you're born an orphan because maternal love and oxygen don't mix in octopus culture. You tumble into the water column. A translucent, bean-sized balloon animal with eyes too big for your body. You can't swim properly yet, so you kind of tumble through the currents like a microscopic parachutist with no parachute. You're surrounded by things that want to eat you. Fish larvae, jellyfish, plankton with anger issues. About 1 in 100,000 of you will survive the first few weeks. The rest become premium seafood dust. But you're the miracle, the overachiever, the one that floats past every hungry mouth because evolution decided to roll a natural 20 on your camouflage genes. You drift for months, pretending to be invisible, living off microscopic food flakes known as marine snow. That's a poetic term for ocean dandruff made of poop. Eventually you sink toward the seafloor. Congratulations again, you've unlocked juvenile mode, where life gets marginally less awful and significantly weirder. Your body starts forming the famous 8 arms, each lined with hundreds of suckers that can taste and grip at the same time. Essentially, you've got hands that can smell sadness. And your brain, it's already learning patterns, memorizing textures, solving problems. At a few months old, you're smarter than most reality show contestants. Except there's a catch. All that intelligence will one day kill you. But don't worry, we'll get to that later. For now, just enjoy being a small floating anxiety cloud in an ecosystem that didn't ask for you. Let's talk anatomy. Your body is 95% muscle and 5% existential crisis. No bones, no armor, just a sack of organs with 8 wet noodles sticking out. Sure, it gives you flexibility. You can squeeze through holes smaller than your eyeball. But it also means every predator treats you like a stress toy. Your nervous system is so decentralized it's basically a group project that works. 2/3 of your neurons are in your arms, not your brain. Each arm can make its own decisions, so when you're trying to hide, one of them might just wander off to poke a crab. Scientists call this distributed intelligence. You'd call it having 8 coworkers who never check the group chat. And your camouflage? Incredible. You've got chromatophores, iridophores, and leucophores, skin cells that let you change color and texture faster than a teenager changing opinions. You can look like sand, coral, seaweed, basically the ocean's shape-shifting anxiety ball. But here's the issue. Your disguise takes so much brain power to run that you're constantly burning calories like a paranoid theater kid, doing costume changes for an audience that doesn't care. Your life is one long improv scene called Please Don't Notice Me. And your defenses? Ink. Just ink. A dark cloud of melanin-flavored panic you shoot when things go wrong. It's like throwing a smoke bomb and hoping your GPA improves. Then there's your beak, sharp, efficient, hidden in the center of your arms. It's great for cracking shells, but also the only hard part of your body, so if a predator bites you there, congratulations, you're half off. You also breathe through gills inside a mantle that collapses if water flow stops for more than 30 seconds. Translation: you can solve puzzles, open jars, and escape aquariums, but you can also suffocate from poor ventilation. You are the ocean's smartest genius, with the durability of wet tissue paper. You grow fast because you have to. No shell, no skeleton, no insurance policy. Just 8 hyperactive arms, a genius brain, and a lifespan shorter than a government promise. Every week you double in size. Every month you triple in paranoia. Your brain develops folds that rival a dog's. And your curiosity becomes a full-time job. You start experimenting. Rocks, shells, coconuts, anything that might turn into armor or a snack. Scientists call this tool use. You call it DIY survival with depression. You learn to open clams, steal crab traps, even rearrange coral to make a fort. Somewhere in there, you invent underwater interior design purely out of spite. You're also a master of problem solving. You can navigate mazes, recognize faces, and remember which human forgot to feed you. In captivity, you unscrew jars from the inside, short-circuit aquariums, and break out at 3 a.m. just to eat someone else's fish. Then you sneak back in before sunrise like a slimy ninja with anxiety. You're basically an alien with ADHD. And you'd think that kind of intelligence would guarantee success, right? Wrong. Evolution gives, then immediately takes away. Because with great brain power comes great burnout. Every puzzle, every camouflage trick, every escape plan, it all drains energy. You're so smart that your nervous system demands constant stimulation. No Netflix, no internet, just a million thoughts echoing in salt water. So you start solving boredom with chaos. You squirt water at tank lights. You pelt humans with shells. You change color for no reason except existential performance art. You are the ocean's first overthinking artist. But the ocean doesn't care about your IQ. Sharks don't stop to admire your creativity. You can be the Picasso of the reef, but you're still made of sushi. Here's where it really sucks. Your intelligence wasn't meant to exist. You evolved separately from every other smart creature. Mammals, birds, even reptiles, they all share a common neural blueprint. You're an independent invention, a second experiment in consciousness. Evolution basically said, what if we gave sentience to spaghetti? And it worked, sort of. You're self-aware enough to problem solve, but not enough to question why life is pain. Yet somehow, deep in that walnut-sized brain, you know it's unfair. You remember patterns. You plan attacks. You even dream. That's right. Octopuses literally experience REM sleep and change color while dreaming, possibly replaying hunting scenarios. So yes, you have nightmares. Congratulations. Evolution made anxiety sentient. But the biggest curse? You're too smart for your lifespan. Most species that reach your level of intelligence live decades. Dolphins, crows, humans. You get 1 to 3 years tops. Some giant octopuses stretch to 5, but that's the equivalent of a dog living to 80. And it gets worse. When you finally reach maturity, you're biologically programmed to self-destruct. After mating, your body flips a hormonal switch. Your cells literally start breaking down. Your appetite disappears. You stop eating. Your skin pales. You lose coordination. Your brain, your one evolutionary superpower, melts into mush. Scientists call it senescence. You call it the most dramatic burnout in nature. For males, it's simple. Mate once, then die confused and hungry. For females, it's worse. You lay tens of thousands of eggs, then guard them without eating for months until you starve to death watching your children hatch. The ultimate single-parent tragedy. So the moment you achieve life's purpose, your neurons revolt. You go from genius escape artist to living puddle of regret in record time. That's not poetic. It's biology's version of a slow clap. You've reached adulthood. Congrats. You're finally the ocean's most intelligent anxiety blob. And you have no idea what to do with it. You spend your days wandering the reef like an overqualified intern. You can solve problems, open shells, recognize individual fish. But there's no job market for genius cephalopods. So you just lurk, hunting crabs and occasionally redecorating your den like a marine minimalist with commitment issues. You're one of the few animals that can use tools. You collect coconut shells and carry them around for protection. Basically an IKEA armor set you assemble yourself. Some of your cousins even stack rocks around their dens to make front doors. It's adorable and utterly pointless, because the ocean is full of things that eat you anyway. But here's the real cosmic prank. Your brain evolved in complete isolation from mammals, and yet humans still relate to you more than to most animals. You're curious, emotional, and slightly unhinged. You play, you get bored, you have preferences, you even throw things at targets out of spite. That's right, scientists have recorded octopuses pelting debris at specific individuals they dislike. You've achieved pettiness, the final stage of intelligence. And that's when humans take notice. We capture you for research because you're too smart to ignore and too soft to resist. You become the lab rat of the sea, forced to solve mazes, recognize symbols, and open jars for treats. You do it easily because you're brilliant. But there's a catch. You also remember faces, and you remember the people who kept you in tanks. So when scientists rotate staff, you squirt water at new researchers. You change color when someone you dislike enters the room. You don't have speech, but you've mastered passive aggression. In other words, you're a genius stuck in a body that can't talk, aging like spoiled yogurt. And if you live near humans long enough, they'll turn you into content. Viral videos of octopus escapes tank get millions of views, but no one asks how you feel about being captured in the first place. You're not performing, you're running away. In your natural habitat, you'd be exploring the seafloor, occasionally outsmarting sharks, and dying of old age after a heroic 3 years. But in captivity, you die faster, usually of stress. Turns out, even a creature with 8 brains can't handle humans for long. You were built for solitude, for quiet puzzles and silent observation. And now you're a circus act, the ocean's Einstein stuck in a jar. Here's how your story ends. One day, after a few brilliant years of being nature's overachiever, your body betrays you. The same brain that made you a genius flips the hormonal kill switch. You stop eating. You start decaying. You fade out in slow motion, surrounded by the eggs you'll never meet. And your mind, the one that solved puzzles, remembered faces, and dreamed, just dissolves. It's poetic in a why does existence hurt kind of way. Humans find your empty shell later and think, ah, poor thing. Then they turn you into an educational video with sad piano music. Meanwhile, your descendants float in the abyss, still too smart for their own good, still destined to burn bright and die fast. Because that's the curse of being an octopus. You got intelligence before evolution figured out how to make it sustainable. You cracked the code of problem solving, but never lived long enough to build a civilization. You're basically what would happen if Einstein was born in a cave and died before inventing the wheel. And yet, in your short, weird life, you've done something no other creature managed. You made humans feel empathy for a mollusk. They look at you and see themselves brilliant, doomed, and constantly running out of time. So yeah, it sucks to be born as an octopus. You're too smart to survive, too soft to fight back, and too temporary to matter long-term. But at least you'll die knowing one thing. For a brief, ink-filled moment in cosmic history, you were the smartest thing in the ocean. And that's kind of beautiful.